style by Sai horizontal corset style and BB Lawrence horizontal corset style. We're looking at this in today's video. We're learning the pattern drafting. Welcome, beautiful people, once again to HN Clothings, and in this video we're learning the drafting of the designs we saw at the beginning. For this particular pattern, we need a front bodice pattern and a back bodice pattern. I would want us to look at this particular style using a full scale front so that we can actually visualize the design and see how to go about it. First things first, you need to measure from that shoulder tip to your under bust. Take that measurement on your body or on your client's body. For mine, I'm using 13.5 inches. I mark that there. The under bust line in my own case it comes before the waistline, though it's almost close together, and that's because of my height. Okay, so you would have a more wider space there if you're way taller. Okay, so once you have gotten that, draw your line and label it. So you see that I wrote under bust line there. Next thing you want to do is take your bra cup in your size, place it on that under bust line, and then just draw the outline of the cup there. Okay, place it the design you want it. If you want it tilted, if you want it straight, I'm just trying to get a wonderful design there. And now I will just trace the outline. That's the bottom part of the cup. I'm just tracing it. Okay, I'm not done yet. I don't need to leave that. Don't leave that yet. So you need to also trace the upper part of the cup. By the way, this is a very, very, very easy process for you to do using the cups instead of racking your brain doing calculations. Guys, I'm spilling the tea in this video. Okay, so let's go on. Next, I do the same for the other side of the bodice. Just use the bra cup and then outline it basically so that you can be guided when you need to work. Okay, so basically curve, like all the sharp lines should just be blunted. Use your marker or your pencil to just go over the sharp lines and curve it. Once you're done with that, the next step is to do your under bust tightening. Okay, so I'm just basically reading straight lines, but tighten your under bust on both sides of the pattern, on the left and on the right. That's exactly what I'm doing there. Check your pattern to see if you're done with everything you need to do. I'm just going on to highlight the spacing that we usually have in between two cups. Right now, you just want to cut off the darts. Technically, just cut out the cups, remove the darts, let the corset stand alone. That's what you want to do. And by corset, I mean the lower part of the corset. Just cutting it out because that is where we need to work on achieving the horizontal lines on the corset. This is not technically the same thing as the straight lines of a corset. That's the one that goes from the top to the bottom, up down, up down. This one is going left to right, going sideways on the body, so you actually will still follow this basic foundation. Like I said, we have so many tutorials on corsets. Now this is what you should be having. This is so funny. Anyway, if we're going to be using a yoke, we can use that later. Now at this point, I have scattered the whole pattern. I had to rematch it. Just put it back, matched it up. Because they're just straight lines, it's going to be so easy to connect. I'm using my paper tape to just connect those lines. And look closely, I'm using the black lines as a guide. I'm using those lines as a guide. Even the underbust line, I'm using it as a guide for joining the lower part of a corset together. So you want to ensure that those lines match up. Okay, ensure that it matches up. Now if we zoom in closer, we see that the the cup area where the cup will sit, it's not matching up. So you can see that one side of the cup and the other side, those parts where we cut open, did not match up. So you want to put just a teeny weeny piece of paper there, tape it down so that you can redraw and have a rounded cup. This is very, very important because the bra cup you're using does not have any crooked or zigzaggy edges. So make sure that the base where the cup will sit is actually done right. Okay, now I'm just going to use my marker and just trace a curve there, such that you will be able to cut and have a rounded cup at that point. So I'm just cutting off the excess, and yeah, you can see that it is perfectly done. Moving on to the other side, I was showing you the difference between both. So I'll just put the paper and then just match up. Next, you want to get your ruler and then mark the center front line. So I'm going to be using another color of marker. That line is already there because this pattern was folded, so I'll just highlight the center front line. So it's going to help me divide this pattern into two, also help me with that center burning channel line that will be there. Now at this stage, you can just fold it back to a half scale pattern technically. Why? Because it's actually symmetric. What you have on the left side is what you have on the right side, and it's going to be easy for us to be able to have equal lines, like equally distributed lines, and also lines falling in the same part on both sides of the pattern of the front bodice. So I'm going to use a pencil first of all, just to see what I'm doing. I'm using a pencil to go over the lines. I'm just eyeballing it. I think they're actually 1 inch apart. Okay, why am I using 1 inch apart? Because it's just a small portion of the front. If we were doing the design that the whole front was going to be boned or channeled, I will not do 1 inch because that'll be too much work. Anyways, designing and creativity, you just have to just put in the work technically. So, and now that I have done this, I'm going to use my tracing wheel and then trace out the lines. Why? Who can guess? Correct, exactly. So you want these lines to show on the other side of the pattern. So if you're working on the left hand side, because you're tracing it now, it's going to automatically show on the right hand side, and vice versa. So just do that for all the lines you have traced. Use your tracing wheel and trace them technically. Okay, of course, the next thing to do is use your pencil, marker, whichever you're using. I'm just going over the lines with with another color of marker, just to highlight it and show you, so we can, that's why I actually did this on a full scale, so that we can actually visualize it together. and see how the result is gonna be. Doesn't this look so lovely already? I'm loving it. I wish I could just do this already, man. Let me know, guys. Let me know if you want me to actually sew this up, like technically sew this up. Let me know in the comment section below. If I have about, let's see, if I have about 20 comments that says sew it up, I sure will do sew it up. Okay, so label the patterns like I have done, and then put your notch marks, do every other thing you need to do, and I'm showing you how it looks with the cup. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited already looking at it. Whoa ho ho, this is so yummy, man. Guys, let me know, should I sew this or not? I want to know in the comments below. If I have more than 50 comments and over, let me see how many thumbs up, over 200 thumbs up, yeah, because actually it's possible. Why? The numbers that watch the videos are much more. So I just need only 50 comments that says sew it up, and then I need 200 thumbs up on this video, and then I'm gonna sew it up. I'm going to keep this pattern because I want to definitely sew this. So let me know, guys. Let me know, okay? So I have the upper part of the bodice, okay? And remember that whenever you cut off your corset, whatever corset you're making, whenever you cut off the top, you do not need to throw it away if you're going to be using a yoke, okay? What I'm doing here now is planning out the yoke of this corset just in case you want a yoke in this design. A lot of you on here ask, how do I do a yoke? How do I do this? Guys, please don't throw away the upper part of the corset, or when you're cutting off like a deep neckline and all of that, don't throw up the top. You will use that as a yoke. So I am just closing up the shoulder darts on both sides, and then I'm just trimming off my shoulder, any excess that I had there. Technically just follow that upper part outline cup. I wouldn't even know what to label it at this point. But you get just that upper cup outline. I'm just following it to cut off the yoke part. So what I just did here now is wise. Why did I say so? So that we have something symmetric on both sides, so that by the time you're done sewing and everything, it balances out, so that you're not having one side go up than the other. Okay, so this is it. If you want a full yoke, this is just it. However you then want to do the yoke, however you want to plan it, if you're doing maybe symmetric, whatever, if you're mixing fabric up there, it's now left to you and your imagination. I'm just placing it out, and this is what we have it. Ooh, this is so yummy. Guys, please just give me the 200 thumbs up and the 50 comments that say sew it up. Man, once it's 50, I am sure gonna sew this because I want to sew it. Okay, let's move over to the back pattern. For the back pattern, I am just measure from your neckline to where you want the corset to begin at the back. I measured about 8 inches. Then I'll just cut that off. So like I advised earlier, don't throw away that upper part that we just cut up. Okay, it will be used for a yoke when you get to that stage. Next, I'm removing that zipper bulge. At this point, you can do more tightening there if you want it more fitted, you want it more snug, whatever you want to do it at that point. And then you also want to tighten the back waist dart. So do all of these tightenings, and then we move on to planning out the style lines. Okay, so for the style lines, get your front pattern. Place the front such that we have the front side seam and the back side seam matching up. You just want to highlight where exactly those lines are on the back as well. Why are we doing this? We actually want to make sure that by the time we're joining, we're sewing, we're doing all of these things, we have we have the same level of channels. Okay, we have the same level on both the front and the back. I hope you get what I mean. Now I'll be going the other way, like opposite to what I have for the front. You know, for the front we're going from the side towards the center seam upwards, but in the back we're going to be doing from the side seam towards the center back downwards. Okay, next just go on to label like we did for the front. Put your notch lines, everything you need to do for the back technically. So once you're done with that, we can then plan out the yoke. For the yoke, I'm placing the back yoke on top of the pattern we have just finished drafting, and then you can see that snatch that we have on the back. Of course the back is not going to meet up to the yoke. Okay, it's not left for you to do it as a full yoke or make the yoke there just onto like half of the back, whichever works fine with you. I'm going to just draw the line so that at least we can have an idea of what I mean. So by the time you fold that part in, of course the shoulder dart will be out of the way. By the time you fold off that part in, then you have your back looking like this. So this is just one side of the back. When you're cutting this, you're going to be cutting two of each of this because it's symmetric. Okay, well that's the end of the video, guys. By the way, to sew this is actually quite easy. Why? You have two methods. You can either decide that you want to do channels that's cut through each of these lines and make them as a channel, or you just cut the outline like a normal outline and then use bias to form the channels. Whichever way works best for you, you will be able to achieve a very good result. So guys, remember the agreement: 200 thumbs up and 50 comments that say sew it, and I will definitely do so. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.